Scottie Scheffler, the American and the world golf number one, wins the Masters. He won the Masters yesterday, shooting a minus 10 under par, 278 for the tournament, winning his first green jacket in just his second year on the tour at age 25 years old. It was an incredible way to cap off what's been really a torrid 2.5 months for Scheffler, in which he had won entering the Masters 3 of the past 5 tournaments. Now he's won 4 of the past 6 tournaments. He had won the Phoenix Open a couple months ago. He'd won the Arnold Invitational in a comeback fashion back at Bay Hill. He had won a match play in Texas that allowed him to rise to number one. So he was riding extremely high going into the Masters, all in this shortened time period. And mind you, just about 56 days ago, now make it 57, Scheffler was still trying to win his first PGA Tour tournament. His first one. Not even a full 2 months ago was he still trying to win his first ever tournament. And so it's been a roller coaster ride for him, and it culminates in a green jacket. And really, he'd been dominant from the very beginning, especially from the second round on Friday, because he led after Friday by 5 shots. He headed into Sunday with a 3-shot lead. And he's just been so consistent. He's been a model of consistency on the tour over this little stretch. And again, he had a 3-shot lead heading into Sunday. But what was impressive about me, or what impressed me about him, was how calm, cool, and collected he was throughout that final Sunday. I mean, obviously you can extend it throughout the entire tournament, but in particular on that Sunday, because here he was paired with Cameron Smith, who started off the 4th and final Sunday championship round, birdieing the first 2 holes. So he's already trimmed the deficit to 1, and yet you've got a guy in Scottie Scheffler who was just impervious to that pressure, impervious to all the roars that weren't for him, that were either for Rory, that were for Tiger, for other guys on the tour. And yet he was able to block out all of that noise and just focus on making every putt, getting into the green. I mean, what was impressive to me is he's not a flashy golfer. He was not someone who was needing to rely on heroics, to maneuver out of tough situations, to hit out of the rough a lot. His tee shots, he was practically hitting the fairway after every single tee shot. So he was setting himself up beautifully. The approach shots weren't the most difficult. He wasn't having to hit many bunker shots. He was lifting them close to the pins, at least giving himself chance after chance after chance on the greens. So most of his shots were really good shots. Again, he wasn't needing some heroic chip shot or, again, a bunker shot. I mean, he was just finding the greens and hitting close to the pins time and time again. And that's really impressive, because especially in a moment like that, where you've got someone breathing down your neck, and then you go into 12 by Amen Corner, and here you've got Cameron Smith who plunks it into the water, and you still retain the same focus to clear the little kind of moat that's right before the hole. It was impressive for him. It was impressive for him. Again, he never had to be kind of too aggressive on his approach shots. And obviously early on, he was a little bit slow out of the gates in the first couple of holes, but then started to find his rhythm. You saw him get a couple birdie putts throughout the front 9, and just kind of rode this wave. And again, with the exception of the 18th hole and the final hole, where he had a Masters victory on the line, he had a 5-shot lead to play with the exception of perhaps those external factors resulting in him missing a couple gimme putts, pretty much every single time. And you could argue whether it's a lack of concentration, whether it's the pressure of knowing you're about to win the Masters from a foot away, with the exception of those few misses, pretty much any time he was within 5 to 6 feet of the pin and of the hole, he was making those putts. And ultimately, that's what typically the Masters and that's what typically all these majors come down to is, okay, all these guys can hit tee shots extremely well. They can use their approach shots to set themselves up. How's your putting game? And Scheffler was fantastic. Again, with the exception of that final hole, it was remarkable just the way that he methodically and surgically went through this entire course 4 straight days. Just really, really consistent. And that's something that stood out to me. Obviously, Rory made a late push, but again, he needed heroics to shoot that incredible 64 under on the final day. Scottie Scheffler was just every single day grinding out holes, collecting birdies, staying disciplined, staying focused. And again, for him to just be 25 years old and in his second full season on the tour to win the Masters, it's truly remarkable. He's already earned $10 million in tournament earnings just over the last 3-4 months. And what stood out to me is he said in his postgame remark how he wasn't even 1 year old. He wasn't even a year old when Tiger Woods won the Masters in 1997. Just for some context, because it's been 25 years. And speaking of Tiger, it was extremely impressive that he even made the cut. That was impressive that he even played in the tournament. But for Scottie Scheffler, big shout out. It's great to see another American ascending in the sport. There have been so many great American golfers as of the last 10, 15 years, not just Tiger. Again, you've had Brooks Koepka, Jordan Spieth, Scheffler, Justin Thomas. Thomas is English, but you have just so many different guys. Again, with Koepka and Scheffler and Dustin Johnson. So it's impressive to see this guy continue to ascend in the rankings and to really back up that #1 ranking in the world of golf. So major congratulations to Scottie Scheffler. That was extremely, extremely impressive performance that he put on yesterday, winning the Masters.